watching you, and the interesting thing is, like, we're here at Proulx salon. You're being like bestowed with gifts from a cosmetics company, and then there's which is always a good thing for a guy who likes to wear makeup.
Always.
There's a reality show being shot here, and I'm watching, and you're being so upbeat and pleasant, and it's gotta be because you're a nice guy, but probably because you're getting to do what you love.
Yeah, I mean, I think going into this whole American Idol thing, going into the recording industry, this is a dream gig.
Right.
You know, I got signed to a label, I made an album, and this is the work that goes with it, and I am like embracing it, you know? I mean, it's work.
Has the wow factor changed for you at all?
I think the thing that keeps me going is that aside from loving music and having a passion for it, I do genuinely like people, and I like to talk. So when it comes to this side of the business, I get a kick out of it. It's fun. I had an ex that used to call me Oprah. Whenever we were in like a social situation, he was like, "Are you doing an interview? Are you going to throw it to commercial? What's going on?" And I was like, "Well, can't help myself. I like that type of conversation."
So then let's flip it. The rumors are intrusive, and your personal life is still your personal life. So how are you finding that?
It's interesting, and it's a big challenge. I think that's the hardest thing, is that is kind of, where do you draw that line of like, okay, and I'm a very open person, and I don't mind to a certain point being kind of like open about who I am and what I do, but it does create an interesting strain on the idea of having a relationship with anybody. I think right now in the thick of this promotion and the album being launched recently and possibly touring the next couple of months, it would be virtually impossible to be in a healthy relationship. I mean, I don't think it'd be fair to the other person.
Right. What about friends? Because do you get to...
Friendships are a little easier than a relationship. In friendship, you know, my closest friends are happy for me, and they understand this. And I've always kind of been the type of person socially, like I have a large circle of friends, and I kind of like to bounce around to different circles and different cliques and different people, and I have my core group, but I've never been like a real needy friend. I'm kind of independent. So I think my friends are really happy for me, and they know that I'm getting a kick out of it, and I text message all the time and call them all the time, and we're all in touch and we communicate, and that's what matters.
Any strain on the friendships? Do you ever wonder who is,
no.
who isn't? Because I've talked to people before in your shoes, and that's a challenge that they've had to face.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I think the friendships that were always close are fine. It's there are some social interactions where somebody might have been like an acquaintance. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden
bigger expectations of you when you're not measuring up.
Or all of a sudden they were an acquaintance and all of a sudden they want to be my best friend, and they're like all up in it, and I'm like, no, I wonder why. Wonder why.
And then what do you do?
Usually I kind of just keep my distance if I can kind of see that clearly. I mean, I consider myself a pretty good judge of character, and you know, if someone's coming out of the woodwork, they're coming out of the woodwork. I can tell.
Right.
I'm not stupid, so.
Has it been easy to keep a clear head throughout this?
For the most part, yeah. For the most part, yeah. I mean, I have really good friends. A lot of them are actually entertainers as well, so it kind of helps with my perspective. There have been moments where I've been like, what the heck is going on? You know, where I do get overwhelmed.
So give me an example.
You know, when the paparazzi's like running up to you, like 12 of them, like shouting your name, and you're like, whoa, hey, you know. Or when, you know, every media outlet is talking about a performance on an award show, and they're...
What performance?
I don't even know, you know, theoretically speaking. You know, it does get overwhelming sometimes, because never before has every move I made mattered this much. Yeah. I'm used to kind of just doing my own thing.
And matter to who? Matter to you? Matter
to everybody else?
Because it does matter to a lot of people, and that brings me to something that I really wanted to talk to you about.